Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for a special edition show, the Contender Series Season 1 Reunion. That's right. For all you fans that have been waiting 20 years almost exactly. These guys filmed this show back in 2004. It aired in 2005 from March until May. There was 16 boxers picked to be in a tournament. They fought each other. They lived in the same houses. They were on two separate teams, the East Coast, the West Coast teams. Like I said, there was 16 boxers. Unfortunately, there's now only 14. Two passed away since the show first was filmed. That was actually I lost my train of thought here. That was actually Najee Turpin. Unfortunately, he took his own life before the show actually aired. And then in 2012, Jeff Fraza, however you say it, unfortunately, he was hit by a train. He was on his cell phone and he passed away. And he was actually training for a comeback with Mickey Ward at the time. So we just want to acknowledge both of those guys before we bring the rest of the fighters on the show. They were a huge part of it. And we want to thank them for their careers and for entertaining us when they did in the ring. But like I said, if you haven't watched the show, if you're not familiar with the show, there was 5 seasons. The first season, actually, right now, you can go back and watch on Amazon Prime if you want to catch up with these guys. Look them up on BoxRec, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Go watch their old fights on YouTube. I advise you to. All these guys were successful in their careers. Unfortunately, the winner of the show is not on today. He could not make the show. He was on 2 weeks ago. We did a 20 random question segment with him, so you can go check out that podcast. That was Sergio Mora. He went on to win a world title, and he's actually on the Zone Network now as a commentator. Another gentleman we're going to be bringing on, Ishe Smith. He actually went on to win a world title as well. He's actually on the show today. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown of these guys, and then I'm going to bring them on. Juan Del Rosa, 24 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. Anthony Basante, 34 wins, 13 losses, 3 draws. Anthony Brett Cooper, 20 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws. Peter Manfredo Jr., 42 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. Jimmy Lang, 39 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws. Jonathan Reed, 35 wins, 19 losses. Ishe Smith, former world champion, 29 wins, 11 losses. Let me bring all these guys on here one at a time. Anthony Basante, Peter Manfredo Jr., Juan Del Rosa, Ishe Smith, Jimmy Lang, Jonathan Reed, Anthony Cooper. How's it guys going, guys? 20 years since you guys all been together. How's it feel?
Time flies, baby.
Feels good, man.
Great.
Feels great, man.
Old.
I love all
I
these
don't-
guys.
I
They're
don't
my
feel-
brothers for life, no matter what.
I'm in my
Yes, sir.
prime.
You liar, Jimmy.
Hey, so we're
Don't be
on
giving
now,
Jimmy
right?
a hard time.
I thought what you say?
I said,
You
don't
said
be
don't
giving
be
Jimmy
giving-
a hard time.
No, don't give me a hard time. You know what'll happen. I'll call the police for security. Let's go. What's the first question?
So basically, I was just texting with your special guest. I don't know if they're gonna be able to make it or not, but we're gonna just roll with it. So first off, I think the fans want to know individually, how did you guys even find out about the Contender? I know you guys got different stories on how you came on. So let me ask Antonio or Anthony Cooper first. How did you get involved in the Contender?
I was helping this kid get ready to fight at a local gym here in Nashville, and his trainers brought the producers over to look at him, and so they watched us both. They liked us, asked us to come down to Tunica, Mississippi, and audition. So I ended up going. The kid that they came for didn't go, so I went down there, and Frank Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's brother, was down there, and I kind of hit it off with him. And they said, do you do anything else? And I said, well, I'm a singer. and so I sang for them, and you know, then they narrowed it down to 40 fighters, flew us to California, and when they made the final 16.
And something I didn't bring up when I was talking about the show is actually Sylvester Stallone and former world champion Sugar Ray Leonard were the hosts on the show. And then you guys had a den mother, Jackie Callion, that was on the show as well. And she was a professional boxing manager, and she's wore a lot of different hats in boxing. But, okay, so Tony Basante, tell me exactly how you got on the show.
I was training at the Uppercut Gym with Lisa and Scott Ledoux, and they had mentioned it to me, and I thought there's no way in hell they're going to pick some dumb kid from Minnesota to be on a reality show. Flew me out there. They told me to go around boxing, and I wasn't the best boxer by far. I mean, the best boxer there, in my opinion, was Ishe Smith. But once I boxed, I made it in the interview because I was a single dad raising 2 kids. They hopped onto that. I was working nights as a warehouse supervisor. And I think they rolled with the story rather than my boxing ability because it seemed to work for the Contenders. So I think that's how I got on.
All right, Peter, how did you get on?
I think I was driving one day, and one night I was sleeping in bed, and then Vinny Paz called me up, and he left a message on my phone saying that he knows Frank Stallone and this and that, and they're doing a reality show, and they want you to come try out for it. And it was in Brockton, Massachusetts. And I drove up to Brockton one day. I had to spot a couple different guys, do a couple interviews, sending tapes of how I was living with my family and all this bunch of stuff. And, you know, I guess I made the cut.
Okay, Juan, how did you get on the show?
Tryouts in Dallas. My father told me about them. I just went because, I mean, I was 17. My dad told me to go ahead and try out. Sparred a couple guys there. Got invited to California for the tryouts. Did it there. Had Stallone come to my room, and they told me I didn't make it because I was too young. They needed somebody 18, and then they turned the story around and said, you know, we're going to go ahead and wait for you. You're going to be on the show, and went from there.
Okay, Jonathan, how did you get on the Contender?
I was closing up at one of the gyms around here I was working at, and the phone rang, and somebody on the phone had asked, was this a real boxing gym? And I sort of started laughing. I said, yeah, it's a real boxing gym. Why? And then they was telling me about the show. And I said, well, I heard about it, but I thought that they were only doing it for amateurs. And the person on the phone said, no, it's for pros as well. And then they gave me the information to go try out at in Tunica. So me and my strength coach drove to Tunica, and the rest is history.
Okay, Jimmy Lang, how'd you get on the show?
I was fighting in D.C. and I was just starting to get a really nice following, and I think it was is that me? Who's that? Oh.
Jimmy's getting a call for another fight.
No, that wasn't. No, I don't think that was my phone. So yeah, I was fighting. Frank Stallone come to the fight, and I got the ever living shit beat out of me that fight, and they gave me the decision. Totally robbed the guy. I mean, I was beat to shit, and Stallone wanted to come in. They said, "Hey, Stallone wants to come back and see you," and this isn't like me, but I was like, I'm not seeing nobody, man. I was embarrassed because of it was a robbery. I mean, my own fans were booing me. You know what I mean? It was bad, and I just got a call. I mean, I didn't meet up with him or nothing. I didn't even know about it. You know, a couple weeks later, they called me. They said, go to New York. We went to a gym, I think it was called Trinity. And I did an interview. I remember hearing later that Stallone's wife had some kind of an input into it. And she really liked me because I was the only one that wore a suit. So wear a suit from now on, guys. You get on a reality show.
Eat alive.
Okay, Ishe, how did you get on the show?
Well, I was at that time. I think I was like one of the. I had met Peter, but Peter probably was was on his way to being like, he was a prospect and he was on his way to being a contender. I think I was a little bit ahead of him because I had just fought Randall Bailey, and I had won all those belts, those minor belts, which ranked me. I was ranked across the board in welterweight. But as Peter knows, fighting at that level, it was only set prices, like 10,000 for Showbox main event, 15,000 for ESPN main event. So when you got a family, you're not making no money. So I mean, that ain't no money when you pay your team and you pay everybody. So I was going through promotional issues at that time because I'm like, either they're taking money from me or this ain't working. I shouldn't be broken. I just beat a former 2-time champion. So I was actually going through trying to get away from my promoter, and they called me, and I don't know how they got my number, but they had came to Vegas and they called me and they said, we want you to be a part of the Contender. And I was like, I heard about that. I was like, I don't think you guys are looking for me. I was like, I'm way too advanced to be on some type of show like that. And they say, no, we want you to come to California and interview and try out, and we'll go from there. We're looking for guys just like you. But I was still a little optimistic about the whole thing. So I went out there. I never had to try out or do none of that. I think when I sit back and think about it, I think the two names they wanted to kind of legitimize the show was me and Peter. I think they had already had aired in on Peter. And I think if they had got me on the show, that would just kind of legitimize, like, hey, we got real fighters on the show. So that kind of, and that what kind of like flipped the script, because when everybody announced the lineup, everybody thought, hands down, I was going to win the show, but they didn't take into the fact that me and Peter were already going 10 to 12 rounds. They didn't take in the fact the small rings, the 5 round, and then living with the guys and building that camaraderie. So I never had to try. My path was a little bit different than those guys, but I wouldn't trade it in for the world though. I had a good time.
All right. So now that we all know and the fans know how you guys all travel the different road to actually get on the show, somebody give me like your experience when you guys got on the show. Like Issei was just saying, he wasn't really sure what was going on, and then once you guys got there, I mean, everybody that have seen the show, they try to turn a lot of drama into the show. They tried to turn some of you guys against each other, things like that. You guys saw that some of you guys bonded and things, but give me some experiences. I'll start with Peter. How was your experience overall on the show?
Yeah, I mean, who's the question for everybody?
No, Peter, I'm going to start. Yeah, I'm going to start with you.
Oh no, my experience was great. I mean, like I said, it was at first it was tough to live with these guys. I was already fighting 12-round fights. I mean, I just fought Anthony Bonzante, like, I don't know, a couple months before the show started when we went on the show. So we just did 12 rounds. I was the NABF champion. I was defending against him. I beat him a decision. So, I just got done fighting. So we were all kind of close, and then when I got on the show, it was hard then, because I was all blown after you fight, you're blown up. You're not on fighting weight no more or shape. So, I was blown up. The fight was coming in, and I had to fight right away. I had to turn around and fight right away, and I had to lose like 12 pounds before I fought Alfonso Gomez, and the weigh-ins were like hours before the fight at that time. So,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a good time for me. I had to fight Alfonso Gomez, who can actually fight a little bit. It was only 5 rounds instead of like the 10 or 12 I was used to fighting, so I had no time to feel him out. I had to go right away, and I had no energy. So it is what it is. I learned, and I didn't even want to come back when I lost that first fight, because I knew I was in trouble. I was like, I can't make this weight. It's hard for me to make this weight. I'm not in the shape I should be in. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. So I think they kind of knew that, and they wanted me to to beat me up a little more. But then it ended up backfiring on them. I started making it, and then I made it to the final. But I got luck.
So Juan, you were probably the youngest guy on the show, right?
No, not probably. I was.
Okay, so how was that for you to come in there with all these experienced guys and older guys, and what was the experience like for you?
It was crazy. I came from fighting in Mexico. Like I was just always in. I started fighting at 15 as a pro in Mexico. So it was crazy. I mean, I got to learn a lot from them, which I enjoyed from a lot of the older fighters. But just seeing the way they carried themselves around the house, and I just felt it was a great experience for me being that young and getting to learn the game from these veterans. I mean, I think that's what helped me along in life too, as well.
Okay. Anthony Cooper, how was your experience on the show?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. Jonathan Reed and I are both from the same town, so we went out there together, kind of, and we were roommates out there, and I mean, it was an amazing experience for me, and it opened up because I got to share my faith on the show, so it opened up my wife and I. We have a television ministry that we do now, so I've been preaching now for years and years on TV. So it was a great experience. I loved it.
Jonathan, how was your experience on the show?
Oh, my experience was great, man. You know, when I first got there and they were introducing the fighters, or the fighters were coming down in the gym, you know, I was like, oh hell, because my mind was, you know, these people got to be kidding. I'm about to get this $1 million, because I was thinking there was going to be a lot of inexperienced fighters trying to, you know, fight their way like some of these people have these tough man contests. I said, I'm about to eat these people alive. Then they started introducing folk. They introduced Peter Manfredo. I said, oh hell, my ass got a little tight. Then they
Yeah.
introduced Ishe Smith. I said, I just saw that slam gonna fight on ESPN, or that's when they had USA boxing then, and they would show every Tuesday. I said, what in the hell have I got my ass into? So I mean, it was good, man. If I had anything to do over, the main thing I would do over, you know, they had us fighting 5 rounds. So in a 8 round or 10 round or 12 round fight, you got a little time to feel somebody out. You're like, oh yeah, well I'll give them these 2 rounds, and then I'll take the rest. But you give somebody 2 rounds in a 5 round fight, you really got to go with it to win the rest of the rounds, man. But everything was good. If I had to do it over again, I would.
Okay, Jimmy Lang, how was your experience on the show?
My experience was a great life experience. Um, I think it was a reality show that was completely unrealistic as far as boxing goes. We were all completely out of our norms. Okay.
Amen.
Um, but we knew that coming in. That was not a. It's not like we got there and thought something and another thing happened. We knew that. We knew it was going to be crazy. Um, but to Ishe's point, uh, I was a built-up fighter. I was a fighter built up through good management, good matchmaking, things like that. Now you're dumped in this. I was a big fish in a small pond. Also, now you're dumped in with these guys, and there is no matchmaking. It's gonna fall the way it falls. And I think I was over my head. I think I got much better after that, and probably would have fared a lot better. But I was over my head, I think. Plus I was nervous as shit. I mean, I was very, very uh, out of my element.
Yeah, you weren't the only one.
You can use, I mean, use whatever word you want. You could say scared. Goddamn right, I was scared shitless. I'd never been to California, and I'm out there now. All of a sudden, Rocky's standing right next to me. You know, and these guys, these killers that I'm watching on ESPN, so on and so forth, that I happen to have the same or even better records than, but it was an absolute golden experience for me in my lifetime. I'll never forget.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Tony, how was your experience? I mean, you're kind of the same boat that Jimmy was in. You're coming from a small town in Minnesota, and now you're out in LA on a TV show with guys that you've seen on TV and stuff. So how was that?
It was unbelievable at first when we all first walked in there, and I'd never been to LA. I'm a country boy redneck who shoots guns at animals and shit, and get out there and I see Peter Manfredo, I see Jonathan Reed, Cooper, Jimmy Lang, Ishe Smith, and like Peter said, we just fought like 3 months ago. I went 12 rounds with him. He won a title, and I mean, it was overwhelming at first, but being my age helped me in this case because I was 33. I was a little more experienced than some of them, and it helped me to deal with it, but I was still awestruck. I mean, we got to hang out with Sugar Ray Leonard and Sylvester Stallone every day, and then when Peter and Alfonso went at it and everybody wanted to bring Peter back, I'm like, you guys are fucking crazy. Don't do it, because Peter will come back and he will be in the finals. And I told them all, but it did it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. All these guys, granted, there was a little drama in there and I was made out to kind of be a bad guy, and that was fine. It helped the ratings, it helped the show, and Ishe in the finale whooped my ass at Caesar's Palace. I mean, I don't think I landed a punch. But afterwards, Ishe and I became pretty good friends, and we talked, and I apologized for being a dick. And Ishe, all these guys are great guys. So,
all right, Ishe. So let me hear your experience on the show.
Why did we bring back Peter? Because we just
20 years later, now you get it.
Why would we have done that? Who was the other guy we were going to bring that we could have brought back?
It was me, man. Me and Peter was the first two to lose. What do you mean, who's the other guy? It was me. It was me and Peter. Peter left the house. I was like, God, dog, what the hell is going on around here?
Everybody was
what I mean? It's all good.
Okay, if it was you, everybody was scared of you too. So maybe we flipped the coin.
All right, Ishe, let me know your experience. No good. Let Ishe tell me about his experience on the show, and then I'm gonna bring a special guest on for you guys.
Well, when I went to the show, like I said, the only ones that I had, when I figured out who everybody was, the only ones that I knew specifically was Peter. And then I had just sparred Sergio probably like a couple months earlier, and I had sparred Peter, so I figured they would be. And I knew Sergio from the amateurs as well, so I came in. I was like I said, I was like coming up in boxing, so I came in like a prick. I just, I just thought I had so much bravado about the show. And I mean, that's what every boxer has anyway. You know what I'm saying? You never want to think
we can all second that.
Yeah. So I came in like really high strung, really ready to go. I mean, I became close with Juan. I became close with Najee. So I knew Alfonso Gomez because I had already fought him young in my career, like my second or third fight. So I knew he was tough. But I came in, my experience was a little bit different because I had to adjust. It wasn't so much being around the guys. It was just, dealing, you already go through so much cutting weight and dealing with, the thing of boxing. Then now you got to be with these guys all the time, and you got to do these stupid challenges, and then you got to try to fight. You go challenge, and then you got to go fight. So I was like, you're already grumpy from having to make weight. So I was just like real irritable like the whole time. And then, like I said, fighting Sergio, and then to figure out I lost by split decision. And then, when it's your first defeat ever, it's like, how the hell did I lose? Like, I lost to this guy, when you're on top of the world. So I never got over that because I never seen the full unedited version of the fight. I just remember me hurting him at the very end of the fight, and I think Jeremy Williams holding him up because he was actually hurt, and I just never got over. It took me years to get over that first defeat, and I think Peter can second that. When you go to that show and you lose for the very first time in your career, it sucks because you're trying to search for answers. And I knew once I lost, they was not going to bring. I knew I wasn't being brought back whatsoever. So I mean, my experiences with them was good. After the show, I didn't get to experience what they were, the fights and all of that, because I had a little disagreement with the producers and the promoters. I wanted to get what I was worth, and they wanted me to fight Jesse. I had no problems fighting Jesse. I was already, I was maxed out at the weight. I was coming from 147, but they were going to pay him like way more. And I was like, you guys should just pay us the same, take the extra 25,000 he's going to make. Cause I think I was making, I think I was making 50 per the contract, and he was going to make 75. So I was like, listen, take the extra 25 he's going to make and split it in half. Make him make 12 and a half, and I make 12 and a half. We both make, 62,000. And they did not want to do it. So I was like, the hell with this. I'm out of here. I had already given up so much to be on the show, like with the weight and all that. And I was already irritable, with the whole experience at the end for the suffering the first loss. But when you sit back and you think about what we accomplished, what we did, and being recognized still sometimes to this day, you don't appreciate it until you get older and you get wiser. And it was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it with none of, I wouldn't trade that experience at all. These guys were great. I mean, we had our differences on the show, but like I said, you put us in a room that damn small, we're living together and having a fight. Of course you're gonna have your differences, but I love these guys. I was sad when I found out about Najee. I was sad when I found out about Jeff. They're like my brothers. It was just it was a real tough time to lose those two guys.
All right, well, listen, I'm gonna take a quick break. We got a special guest to bring on. I know all you guys know who this is, and
I have no idea who the guest is.
Oh, you're gonna when they come on. But when this person heard about the reunion, they definitely wanted to come on and make sure that they surprised all you guys. And for the fans, you guys are going to remember who this is. And she's wore many hats in boxing. But on this show, she was the den mother, Jackie Cowan. How you doing, Jackie?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
We love
Jackie. Go on, Jackie.
There's my guys.
We love Jackie.
Oh, my gosh. Isha, I hear you talking about being cranky on the show. And I went, yeah, I kind of remember a little bit of that. Remember that?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was tough.
I remember
you still look great.
I remember, Isha, one day we went. What?
I said you still look great. You don't even look like
I didn't
you
hear
aged
that.
one bit. I said you still look great. You
Oh my
don't
God.
look like you've aged one bit.
Thank you. Hey, guys, I'll be 78 soon, so thanks for that.
Praise
Oh my
God.
God. You don't look
Wow.
it, that's for
That
sure.
was awesome.
So
That's
Jackie,
why she's like
so
fine
Jackie,
wine. She gets better with age.
so Jackie, tell me how you dealt with all these guys on the show.
Well, I have to say, this was the nicest bunch of kids. They were kids to me. They're still kids to me. Look at them. I loved every one of these guys, and I had a different connection to each one of them when they'd come in every morning to get weighed in, and we would joke. I mean, Juan, I almost wouldn't recognize Juan De La Rosa. He looks so different now, all grown up.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been 20 years. Of course, Jimmy Lang, I see Jimmy Lang and talk to him all the time. He's family. And Ishe I run into. And Ishe, it was just so funny to hear you talking about that, about being kind of uptight and cranky. I remember that they made me take you to church one day. We went to
Right. I
a
remember
Baptist
that.
church, not too far. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Now I do. Yeah.
They said, get that boy some religion. He will certainly calm down. So it was actually really fun. I enjoyed going there. That was a great experience. And Anthony, my goodness, Tony, he was sort of the kind of the Romeo around the set. I won't repeat some of the stuff that I heard, but he was quite the ladies' man, weren't you?
Must have been Cooper.
No comment?
What do you mean?
Hey, you gotta plead the fifth.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You were all pretty handsome and in your prime back then. And I know all the girls used to text me and call me and say, "Oh, is this one single? Is that one single?" Of course, they found out pretty quick because they showed your families and they figured out pretty quick who was available and who wasn't. But what a good-looking bunch.
We still in
You
our
were really
prime
fun
now.
to work
We're still in our prime.
You speak for
are
yourself,
still in
Ishe.
our prime.
I know that. Jonathan was always a character, funny, always cracking jokes. He was always in a good mood. I don't think I ever saw Jonathan Reed in a bad mood. Do you ever get in a bad mood?
Yeah, I got in a bad mood. You know when I got in a bad mood? I got in a bad mood when I was back and I was looking at season 2 of the Contender, and I was like, man, they letting these guys rest. You know, they tricked me to get in there and fight Jimmy Lane. I mean, not Jimmy Lane, but to fight that knucklehead. And
Jesse Brinkley.
shit, what is the book? Jesse
It's
Brinkley.
Brinkley.
Because they had us,
Yeah.
they had me running these bleachers, and he was sitting on his ass because one of our guys was already lost. I said, it's gonna. I told Brent, I said, man, that's gonna be who they want me to fight right there. I went up them bleachers 7 out of 8 times because I came back down and Juan, it came back to where we had to stand when we ran back down the bleachers. And he's like, man, I can't make it. I said, well, you stay right here and rest, man. I'll go back up there. I knew if he'd ran up there, he wasn't going to make it. So I had to run up there. I
I
talk
would
to
like to
Jesse
know
all the
how many
time.
kids. I talked to Jesse too. You know, he's got the 2 older kids, and now he's got 2 younger kids. So
You
he's
tell
got
that
his
duck butt
hands
I want my
full.
rematch.
Anthony, what are you been up? Yeah, Anthony, you still look the same. Anthony Cooper, what are you up to?
My wife and I have a television ministry that we do. We've been on TV preaching for about 10 years.
Wonderful. That's really wonderful. And Peter, I've seen you over the years and your dad and the family. How many kids do you have?
I got 3, and my wife's got 4. I'm the 4th.
Good for you, Peter.
Isn't that's true of every guy. He's always the kid in the family. And Jimmy,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
I
I
love
think
and
I-
talk to all the time, I know what's going on with Jimmy. Jimmy's always doing something, staying busy. He's got
Always
gorgeous
hustling.
kids and happy as can
He
be.
said
The rest of you all have kids. Isha, you
Yeah, I
got
think-
kids?
Yeah, you know, I got 6 kids.
Sweet
So I
Jesus.
got it. They're all grown, man. They're grown now.
Dang.
Well,
The
my
youngest
Lord,
is-
Isha.
Hey, say hi to my boy real quick.
Hey, good. How you
Hey.
doing?
What's
Hey, how
up,
you
buddy?
doing?
What's going on, man?
Hi.
I'm Sonny.
Is that Sonny?
Nice.
Hey,
This
Sonny.
is Sonny.
Hi, Sonny.
Hey.
You remember me, Sonny? I was the one that we should be down in y'all's basement making noise.
Yeah, that was you. He used to hold you, Sonny.
All right.
When he was shit. He wasn't even a year old.
Oh, gosh.
Believe it or not, Jackie, I got 3
And
grandkids.
Juan, do you have kids?
I got one
Who does?
17-year-old.
My God, son, you
17-year-old?
finally hit the
Oh,
right
my
spot.
And
Got
Tony,
one.
what have you got? Exactly how many kids?
Well, I got 2, but I got 3 grandkids as well now.
Jeez.
Congratulations.
Well, I
bro.
got 5 grandkids.
I
have
love
5.
it.
I've got my oldest grandson's 27, lives with his girl. Then I have one that just graduated college, and then I have 3 younger ones. But we had so much fun with Sly and Ray.
We did.
And you guys remember Prentice Bird and
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I remember
Prentice,
Frank
yeah.
Stallone.
How's he doing?
Yeah, I still talk to Prentice. He's in LA. And I talked to, like I said, Tarek Salmasi. I talked to Jesse a lot. Jesse's got a pet pig. Did you guys know he's got a pet pig that lives
He's
in the
got
house?
pet
A pet pig.
He just had 2 more kids too, Jesse.
He's still shooting.
Yeah.
Man.
Jesse on that.
Still shooting.
We text
Shit,
each other every morning.
Tarek was the only one on the show that was older than you, Jackie.
What?
Dead wrong.
Come on. And does anyone stay in touch with Hollywood?
No,
Nah,
I
I
don't know.
don't.
I don't
I
even know how to get in touch with him.
I spoke to him one time on Facebook.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a
He's
long time.
somewhere over in Europe, I'm sure, right?
More than
got
likely,
me,
yeah.
He got me on the phone one time and kept me on the phone for like that. He can talk, boy. And so every
He
time I
always
ever saw,
could.
so every time I saw him, I kind of avoided a call because he got me for like 2 hours one night, and it was bad. So that was the only time I ever talked to
What
him.
about Sergio? Anyone hear from Sergio?
I hear from him here and there. Like I got his number here and there. I hear from him here and there, but I wish I had all your numbers because I send out morning texts every day. I got Anthony Brent Cooper's number.
I get a morning text from Peter Manfredo every morning, an inspirational text.
Yeah, I send it's just to make sure my people wake up every day. I just want to make sure you wake up. If you want to read the inspirational message, then it's up to you. But I just want to make sure you wake up every day.
Jackie, did you see that Sergio? Did you see that Sergio was just on my show 2 weeks ago?
No. Did he talk
Yeah.
about Gomez? Whatever happened to Gomez? Does anyone know?
No, I was trying to get a hold of him. I know he was having some tough times for a while, and I don't know if he's out of them now or not. But I know Sergio
Fonzie?
came. Yeah,
Fonzie?
Sergio was on a couple weeks ago, and because he couldn't make the Contender reunion, so he came on and did the 20 random questions with me, and but he's just been busy with the zone and stuff like that, commentating all the fights and things like that. So. Well,
Guess
listen,
what,
let me.
guys? For those of you who don't know it, I just want to tell them something. I got inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame this year, guys.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that,
Who doesn't
Congratulations.
know that? Everybody knows it.
that's much deserved though.
Big
Yeah,
move.
but
Well, you're all a part of my story. You're all part of it.
We're
Now,
proud of
didn't
you
you?
because you are our
Weren't you
mom.
Aren't you just working on a movie or a documentary about boxing? Something to do with that, Jackie?
That's
I
cool,
just
man.
finished co-producing a movie in Florida, a small little boxing movie. And right now I've got a company doing a documentary on my life. They've been working on it for a year and a half. So it was going to be done, but now that I'm going in the Hall of Fame, they want to wait till June and cover that. And that'll be the ending of the whole documentary. So I'm excited about that. And of course, the Contender's a part of it, and lots of pictures of everybody and all the fun times we had.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right.
So let me get to you guys' pro careers a little bit. I want to start with Tony Basante. So after you guys left the Contender, talk to me about your career a little bit and some of the bigger names that you faced or some of the funner fights that you enjoyed.
Right afterwards, I fought a local guy in St. Paul, but it was a big fight. It was 10,000 people at the Target Center in Minneapolis, and I fought Matt Vanda, and it was a great fight. And whoever won that got to fight Duddy at the Garden. So I won the fight, and then I got to fight John Duddy at the Madison Square Garden. That was kind of cool. I got Jake LaMotta, Frazier, and Jerry Cooney were ringside. And of course, I started bleeding like a stuck pig. But I kept going for 6 more rounds, and they stopped the contest, and John won. And then, well, of course, I had to fight Alan Green and just got my ass handed to me on ESPN. He hit me with so many left hooks, I don't think I could see coming out of the airport. But it was part of the deal. I got a lot of fights I wouldn't have got because of the Contender, and it helped my career. Made a little bit of money, not a lot, because I wouldn't leave Minnesota, but it was a great experience, and all these guys were a part of it, and I'll never forget it. I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, it was great. So I just want to say thank you to every one of those guys, and including Jackie, who was a den mother, and she knows some stuff that she probably might not want to say right now about me. So that's good.
Hey, so Juan, talk to me about your career a little bit after the Contender. Or any big guys you fought or anything? How you're
Nah, man, I kind of stayed under the radar. Just fought on local shows and wherever they got me, and that was it. Started working at UPS and kind of fell off the radar after that. Just I lost to Mikael Williams. I won, then lost again to him, and then I beat some undefeated guy from Germany, I believe. And then I had a loss to, I can't remember his damn name, but I lost again. I was like, man, you know what? I don't have the time for this. I'm not dedicating myself. I'm not going to cheat myself. So I just hung him up.
Okay. Ishe, talk to me about your career a little bit after the Contender and about your world title.
Well, it was up and down for the most part. Like I said, when I had that loss on the show, it took me a while to bounce back and kind of find my footing. And then, us boxers, we're very persistent. We're going to pick ourselves up in any situation. So it just kept picking myself up. Then I finally got my shot in 2013 and was able to cash in on that and become a champion and then defend. I fought some very tough guys, especially towards the end of my career. I fought some very tough fighters. Sometimes I should have won. Sometimes the guys were the better guys, but, when you're a true champion, you just don't make excuses. So I never make excuses. Some fights I thought I won later in my career. Some obviously I just fell a little short, but we're persistent bunch and resilient. So I don't have no regrets. And the Contender was definitely a part of that. It brought me a fan base that I wouldn't have had going forward throughout my career. So for that, I'm always grateful for the fans and the experiences and meeting all these guys. Like I said, some of them I had already knew, and but most of them I didn't. So it's always good to see. Some of them I follow on Facebook. Disappointing surges in here because me and him follow each other on Twitter, so which is X now, and it would have been nice to have him a part of it as well, because that's where his career benefited the most off the show, I think, because it got him a title. His story was, after you just see everything, his story was remarkable, and then to go on that show, so he probably owes a tremendous amount to them and what they did for him, because he was relatively unknown before the show, and I don't know if he gets the Vernon Forrest fights in those fights without having to maneuver and fight tougher fights. Like me and Peter had already been doing that. We had already headlined a couple of shows and we're fighting tough fighters, so it really paved the way for him. And I'm proud of these guys. It was good to be a part of them and be a part of them with the show. And I remember one on the show, what was it, you and Najee Wan snuck out.
Yeah.
We snuck out. We got tired of being like so we snuck out. Najee had this little spot that you could sneak out, and we snuck out, and we were just walking the streets, man. So it was always good to be those memories that just never die down, man. It was a great experience. Too soon though. It needed to come out like today, and we would all be multimillionaires. I'm telling you, it needed to come out like today, like 5 years ago.
Jimmy Lang, so talk to me about your career a little bit after the show.
The Contender put me in all those living rooms, and what it enabled me to do is really build like a cult following in Virginia. I was fighting 5, 6, 7,000 people on maybe every 2 months. 3 months I would do that, and really, really helped me and kind of put me on the map. I won a few. What do they call regional? Not world, but like USPA.
National titles?
Yeah, I won a few of the 3 or 4 national titles, and always entertained the people, and had a great career. Ended up with 39 wins. Had another set when I was on the show. I had 3 kids, so I had another set of twins. Had another marriage, another divorce, and everything's beautiful.
All right. Peter, talk to me a little bit about your career after the show.
That was great. I mean, like these guys said, the show kind of gave me the exposure I needed that we were all looking for anyway. That's why we went on the show, to get the big fights that we got. And I fought one of the best fighters to ever put on a pair of gloves, and Joe Calzaghe. I went all the way to Wales to fight him, in his backyard. And I didn't have much of a shot. I mean, he kicked my ass. He blew me out of there, but um, at least I got to share the ring with him. Someone so great and legendary. Then I fought for the IBO title against Saki Obika, who was just way too big and strong, with my dad training me. And I just didn't think my dad was we don't really get along now, but I don't think he was a great trainer. Uh, he kind of got me killed in there when I boxed, and I kind of knew that. That's kind of why I left him and I went to Freddie. And you've seen the difference in the second fight with me and Mora. It was just night and day. But I just, my career kind of took off after the show. It was a good thing. I won a world title, beating Angel Hernandez. And, I just, I only boxed to take care of my wife and my kids. And I got to do that with boxing. So I fulfilled my dreams. I still got out with some marbles left. I mean, I could spell my name still, so that's a good thing. And now I go to work. I'm a laborer. I work. I go to Boston every day. It's an hour and a half commute every day to work. I go to work with a smile. I'm the first one there, the last one to leave. And I just dedication I always have is because of me being a fighter. You know, I always show up. I'm always there. If they need me to work overtime, I'm there. I'm always reliable. So I, uh, that's part of being a fighter. So
Okay.
Peter,
my
wasn't
life.
you an electrician for a while too?
I was doing that because I didn't know what I wanted to be. I never really wanted to be a fighter. I was I was forced to by my old man. You know what I mean? That was his dream, my mother and father's dream for me. You know, because I think that was my father wanted, to be that, but he just didn't have the talent or the heart or the desire to do it. So he made his son do it. And so that's what I always grew up doing. But then I would work like my uncles, his brothers would be electricians. So I said, I want to do something else. I got to make some money somehow. So I tried to do that a little bit. And then after I fought Saki Obika, he killed me. I said, I can't keep fighting, man. I got to do something. I need a job. So a lady I knew, she's like, you should join the laborers union. They're always looking for workers, guys that show up on time. I says, all right, tell me, take me. So she took me to the office. She goes, yep, we can put you to work. So I started doing that. And then I fell in love with it, and
Okay.
that's what I do now. I'm a worker.
Anthony Cooper, talk to me a little bit about your career after the show.
I just had a couple fights right afterwards, and then my wife and I really went into the ministry, and so we've been preaching. We were involved in our church, and I sang on a worship team there for 15 years. Did some music videos. We were on the radio a couple times with a couple songs we had, and been preaching since.
That was
Okay.
always your calling, man. That was always that was always your calling. It's good you walking in your calling, man.
Yeah.
It's
That's
good
my
to
brother.
hear.
I text him. I text him every morning. Make sure
Me and Peter stay in touch real go every morning.
every day, every morning. That's my
So
brother right there.
I get
so
those
Jonathan,
messages from Anthony every day. I appreciate that, Anthony. I'm gonna hook up with you too, Manfredo. I like those inspirational
Well,
speeches.
I was telling you, these are all my brothers, and then at the end of the day, these are all my family. So I just want to make sure you wake up every day.
I'm gonna get your number after the show.
I
All
tell
right.
everybody that the contender was my 16 weeks of fame.
Look, I want y'all to meet my son. This is Jaden.
What's up, man?
how you
What's
doing,
up,
What's up,
buddy?
buddy?
Hey, a soccer player.
Yeah, I was just about to
Your
say he
father's a legend.
looks like my son. He looks like a soccer player, man.
Yeah,
I
that's all
could
he does,
totally
play soccer.
All right.
Hey, Jonathan Reed, talk to me about your career a little bit after the show.
After the show, it was a company that got in touch with me that was they're a missionary company, and they had me on their show where we would go to Honduras and we helped build a hospital for the Hondurans in like a rural area where they didn't have a lot of medical and things of that nature. Um, I had a couple of fights after the show. I got beat up by Jimmy Lane, and then they held my hand and take me to go get some steak or something. I think they set me up, but it's all good. And I call Jesse Brinkley every now and
The,
then
the
and
problem
kick
was
with
he
him,
didn't.
tell him,
The problem was he didn't know he was supposed to lose,
my Lord, son.
and
I tell
so
you
he
what,
so he kicked the shit out of me for about 10 rounds before we got the message he was supposed to lose.
my Lord. I went back to the corner and I kept getting hit with something, and my coach was like, he said, "Man, your left eye's closed." I said, "Oh, that's what he hit me with." And he told me he wasn't gonna let me go out for the next round. I said, "Man, it's only two more rounds." He said, "Man," he said, "I'm gonna stop it, man. You can't see out of that eye." I said, "Got to be more careful." Son of a gun, but it's all good, man.
That was a good fight.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about that real quick. Now, you guys just talked about your career a little bit. So let's give the fans what are you guys doing in retirement right now? I'll start with Jonathan Reed. So what have you been doing since you've been retired, Jonathan?
Oh, I'm like Juan. I don't know if he still works there, but I'm at UPS. I work at UPS, and every now and again, some of the gyms around here want me to come and work with some of the kids that are in there, some of the guys that are trying to box. And if I don't hear every day, do I have a gym or do I train people? Something's wrong.
So you're
And a lot
you're a
of people
driver.
that
So you're a driver, Jonathan. Or are you inside?
I'm inside. They want me to. They're trying to talk me into going into management, but I don't want to be in the management, man. I like to go in there, load them boxes in the truck, go on about my business.
I feel
Yes, sir.
Because I after boxing, I started. I got into I'm in a bowling league, so I'm in a bowling league 3 days out of the week.
Oh boy.
So if any of you members ever think you can bowl, come get you some. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, maybe Jimmy Lang will give you a rematch in bowling.
Well, dadgummit, I'm coming.
Better watch it. You better watch it. I can't even lift the bowling ball now.
My lord. So
So
how's your
Anthony,
dad doing? Your mom?
He good. They're hanging, man. They fighting every day, baby.
I know she got the same birthday as me.
That's right. That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't. I don't want to interrupt anybody, but I can't believe how beautiful Jackie Callan is, man. I just can't stop looking
no,
at her.
I told you, Seth.
Same.
Looks great.
I can't stop looking
You
at her picture, man.
are so
Only
beautiful
he would start
to
singing.
me. You are
Oh man.
so beautiful.
That's
Yeah,
it.
watch out there now.
That's it, my man.
hey, real quick, I wanna relay a message that just came up on my screen for you guys. Hopefully I say his last name right. Ben Soli or Solly. He just said, "You guys introduced me to boxing. I wasn't good enough to fight, but you inspired me to train as a journalist, and a reporting ringside was good enough for me. So thank you guys." So you guys got him interested in boxing, and he became a journalist and a reporter ringside because of you guys. So he wanted
That's
to thank
awesome,
you
man.
for that.
That's
That's
awesome.
beautiful.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
I hear that a lot, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things when people talk about the Contender. Oh, that was my introduction to boxing. I love that. That's really makes me feel good.
Yes, of course.
Hey, I mean, I watched it religiously too. So, and I'm honored right now to have all you guys on my podcast. This is like a dream come true because I sat there like every other fan screaming at the TV, wanting certain fights on the show, wanted certain guys to win, wanted to know what was going on with the drama every week, couldn't wait for the next episode. And now I'm sitting here just bullshitting with all you guys and Jackie and everything. So, I mean, I just want to thank all you guys for taking time to come on my podcast so that we could do this 20-year reunion and just listen to you guys' stories and your experiences and give all this out to the fans.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So, anyway, so Anthony Cooper, so basically,
Hard to believe it's
since
so many years.
I know,
I
right?
know.
And like they said, Jackie, you don't even look a day older.
At
No.
all.
She doesn't. She looks great.
So, Anthony Cooper, so you
I
basically just been
appreciate that.
focusing
Those are my
on.
boys. They're going to be nice to me.
So, Anthony Cooper, you've been basically focusing on your ministry then since you retired, right?
Yeah, I do that. And then I'm also a high school basketball coach at one of the high schools here in town. And I do personal training. I train a couple amateur fighters, and I do personal training as well.
Okay.
That's awesome,
And,
man.
Peter Manfredo, what are you doing these days besides working as a laborer?
That's it, man. I'm working as a laborer and trying to be a dad. I know I can't say the #1 family man because that's already taken by Bonsanti, but I'm trying to fill those shoes. You know what I mean? I'm home every
Hey,
day.
being a dad's the best.
My kids are all older now. My oldest daughter's 21. I got an 18-year-old daughter, and then my son's 16 now. He's got a girlfriend, so I just try to be around for them.
That's awesome.
You got to teach by example. You got to teach by example. So whatever they see, that's how they're gonna learn. So I try to be the best I could be.
All right.
Beautiful.
Jimmy Lang, what are you doing now that you're retired?
I'm training. I'm teaching fat ladies how to box. I hope none of them watch this show.
And you about to lose some customers.
Kid wants, right?
He was teaching.
He was.
Nah, I I work with the Redskins. I teach the Redskins how to box the offensive line. So I go in there, work with them guys with the parallels from football to boxing and the footwork and the hand speed, things like that. And then yes, I do. I go to different people's houses and work the pads and kind of workshop boxing. Not and I'm not training anybody to be a fighter. I'm it's for health and weight loss and things like that. Also, my sons, if you remember, I had twin boys on the show. They're both boxing. Very, it's. I've been very careful to keep an arm's length from them, and just be their fan. Let them enjoy the sport, let them experience the sport. Um, Not, oh, you're gonna be a pro and you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that and we're gonna move you and so on and so forth. So it's really nice to just be your son's fans, and that's what I'm doing with them. I help them
Yes.
here and there when they ask. They come to me, they ask me a question, they know I know, so I have that trust, but I never push myself on it. On
Okay.
on
Mhm.
Hey,
on, on that,
Ishay,
I'm telling you, it's a better way to be. It's
okay,
more
Ishay
enjoyable.
Smith, what have you been up to since you retired?
Well, well, once so I did bare knuckle. I think was my last thing I did in
Man,
2019. And after that, after the show, few years after the show, I think in 2008, me and my wife at the time, we divorced, but we had a great relationship with the kids, sharing the kids, co-parenting and all that. Then she was murdered in Vegas, like just a random act of violence. So she just was wrong place, wrong time. And then I ended up having full custody of the kids and still trying to fight. One thing about boxing is that it's hard to really save your finances because you have so much money going out all the time. You got to pay your team, you got to take care of your family, you got to do this, you got to do that.
I'm
So when I
so glad you
retired,
said that.
yeah, so nobody
absolutely.
tell. It's so hard. People be like, "You made this or you made that," and
People
they
don't
don't
really
realize
know. I'm so
how
glad you
fast that
said that.
money.
A lot of times that's gone before you get out of the
Yeah, how
ring.
fast that money goes. You pay your team, and then you
Half of
try
it's
to
gone before you even fight.
right. You try to invest money, and then the investments may go bad. Something may happen. You try to get rental properties that you just that's the kind of stuff happens. So after boxing, when I lost their mother, and just the finances start coming in, and you need health insurance, you need benefits, you need retirement. I ended up started working for the post office, so I've been there now for about 4 years, and I love it. I have some money, put away. I have insurance that my family actually needed from the tragedy from their mom, their mental health and their stability. I can only, I can't even imagine what it's like losing a parent, especially that way. So it was good for me to be able to say, put my pride aside and say, let me go and better my family and take care of my family and to go out. I hadn't worked a job in 20 years. I hadn't worked a job since I was 17 years old. So it was a very different experience for me. So, I've been there now a few years. I love it. And, I still get recognized at work and on the streets. That's a little bit annoying, but, it comes with the territory. But I wouldn't trade my experiences for the world, being that I achieved the mountaintop, made it all the way to the top, and then having to work now in the private sector. I don't regret anything. I wouldn't change anything about my life or anything. I have no regrets.
No, because that's what
Okay,
makes you a real champion right there. Putting everything aside for your family, and that to me, that's a real champion.
Amen.
hey Juan, so what have you been doing then since you retired?
Getting old. Yeah, I guess aging. I work for UPS. I've been there 15 years. I'm a full-time driver there. So I have health insurance stuff for my family. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm happy I did the show, learned so much from these guys from the financial side of boxing and saving my money and doing the right thing. So investing. I mean, I'm doing good for myself here where I'm at. So I have no complaints raising my son. He's gotten like 5, 6 accepted letters to colleges, major colleges that I know I wouldn't have got into. So, I mean, I'm
Okay.
proud of him. That's it.
Well,
Just raising my brother.
of course you're doing good. Y'all just got that new contract, man. Y'all just got that
Yeah,
new contract, son.
yeah. Yeah,
You
making
doing
big
real
money, but
good, man. You doing
yeah,
real good.
I'm blessed, man. Like I'm really blessed. I'm glad that I put the boxing to the side to focus on what I did, and man, I mean, I made the right choice. So I'm good, man. I'm enjoying life.
Praise God.
Okay, Tony
Congrats.
Basante, tell me about what you've been doing since you retired.
After I retired, I got into politics a little bit. I got on the school board in Shakopee and in Crosby, and I love that. I made differences for the kids, and my kids are older now. I got a 30-year-old daughter. I got a 26-year-old son. I've got 3 grandkids that are under a year old. Like I said, I drive truck for a living. I still hunt deer. I still go fishing. I ride motorcycle. I enjoy life. I got a beautiful woman in my life right now. She's the one that set me up with all this stuff. She's a DJ for a radio station in Brainerd, Minnesota, and she's just awesome. But I get to spend time with my kids now, and I look back at all you guys now, and how I was preaching, how I did it all for my kids, and it was all worth it because my kids are the most important thing in the world, and everybody knows how important being a dad is. Dad's not the easiest job in the world, neither is a mom. Parents probably the hardest job in the world you're ever going to have, but it's the most rewarding job I've ever
Yes, sir.
Especially when they get older.
Oh,
Especially when they get
I
older.
love it. I mean, I love seeing my grandkids. I get to hold my grandkids all the time. I'm involved in boxing. I coach an amateur boxing team in Brainerd. We just had regional fights here a little bit ago, and the passion's still there. It's just I can't do it anymore.
I don't know how you guys hang out at the gyms. That smell will make me back. I haven't been to a gym.
It's awesome, BJ.
Yeah, I stay away from the gym because everybody wants to spar and get in there. Like, nah, I'm sitting on the sideline.
I love it. It's awesome. And John, I just want to say thanks for having us all together. This is fantastic. I'm going to friend request all you guys when I get on Facebook because I haven't talked to you for 20 freaking years.
Yeah, we need to have a group text so we can get Peter's.
We do. We really do.
Text, man. Awesome. Peter's email, Peter's texting every day.
Hey, Jackie, you need to put a show together.
There's something wrong with the sound, I think.
No, somebody. All right. Must have been just the internet because so many of us are on here.
Sure.
Jackie, you need to put a
Like
show
I said, you
together.
guys are all my brothers, so I want to keep in touch with you every day, and that's my way to do it.
So listen, here's what we're gonna do then, because it seems like the internet's starting to affect the show, and so we've been on here for about an hour, so I'm gonna wrap it up because the rest of the show has been really good. I just want to ask you guys one at a time, just to give a shout out to your fans and everything, and then we'll end the show, and then we'll go off air, and you guys can exchange contact information if you want and all that once we're off the air. But I'll just start with Tony Basante. If you want to say anything to the fans that watched the Contender and followed your career.
I just want to say thanks to NBC, Stallone, Jackie Callan, all the guys, Mark Burnett, that put the show on and gave us all this opportunity to be on live TV on a major studio. And all these guys, 20 years later, they all look fantastic, every damn one of you. So I wish you all the best, and God bless you all.
Sir.
Juan, go ahead and say the same.
Oh man, appreciate just the opportunity and getting to meet all these guys. I mean, great experience meeting Jackie, Sylvester, Sugar, all of them, the inspirational words we got every day. It's like I said, just a blessing. Like I found my faith through Anthony Cooper. So I mean, it's a great thing to do. I mean, I'm just happy with life and happy the way everything turned out for me. So got no complaints.
All right, Ishe.
Well, I just want to thank these guys, for being a part of my career, definitely being brothers on the show. Thanks to Jackie Callan and everybody who was a part of the show, making sure I was selected. It was good seeing these guys, man. I can't believe it's been 2 decades since we've done this show. That's just crazy. We're all older now, gray hairs. It's good that some of us are still here and, praying for those that aren't here. But it was a pleasure, man. Thank you guys so much.
All right, Jimmy Lang.
to you guys, man. What a memory. What a beautiful part of my life. I'm fortunate. I believe it or not, I think of you every day, even if it's in the form of seeing the word contender somewhere. It's just a beautiful memory in my life. To the fans, you're the reason we did it. You enabled us to do this, okay? Because you loved boxing, and we gave you a little picture into the lives of some of 16 fighters, and I'll never forget it. And I love it. My biggest fans, my five kids, and I'm their biggest fan. I'm glad that there's something for them to look back, something tangible for them to look back on, memories that are too old for them to remember themselves. You guys are all a part of that, so thank you.
All right, Jonathan Reed.
Yeah, I just want to thank all the fans who paid attention to the show. Thank all the fans that pay attention to me now. I mean, I'll be somewhere and they'll be pointing and looking, and then they ask me, "Were you Jonathan Reed? Were you on the contender?" Uh, I want to thank all my brothers. You know, a lot of times, you know, you hear about boxing and you know fighters can't get along, blah blah blah. These are all my brothers. They called me. I'll be there in a second. You know what I mean? And thank Miss Jackie for getting to keeping us under that roof and keeping us straight and keeping our mind focused on what our job was to be doing.
All right, Anthony Cooper.
I want to say it was a life changing experience for me. I'm so thankful for the opportunity. Everybody was a Rocky fan. I grew up a huge Rocky fan. Sugar Ray Leonard was my favorite fighter. And Jackie was just amazing to be on the show with. All these guys were great. Such an opportunity. It truly changed my life. It's so cool. My kid watches this now and he's, so proud of it. I'm, I'm very thankful for you all.
All right, Peter.
Yeah, just like what these guys touched on, I just want to thank everybody, all the fans, because they're the reason we all did this for the fans. Besides our families, we all had to make money for somehow, and that's what we did to for our family. So I just hopefully I did enough to make my son proud of me one day. I mean, he's 16 now. He's got a girlfriend, but I don't ever want to see him take a punch. So I did it so he never has to do it. And I want him to look back at me and say, you know what, my father was the man one day. He did all this for me or for my family. So um, and I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't get on that show. I don't think that helped my career. It helped spark my career. Meeting Jackie Callan, she was such a beautiful person, not just outside but inside. She was there for all of us fighters, all 16 of us. So me and Rocky Sylvester Stallone, that was a childhood dream to meet him. I got to meet him. Sugar Ray Leonard, they all said, is a living legend, one of the best fighters to ever do it. Got to meet him, got to sit down, got to talk with them, and I got all 15 of these other guys. They're my brothers now. Two passed, but they're looking down on me. Energy never dies, so we got to go somewhere. So I'll see them all again one day. But they're all family now. Hopefully, I text Anthony Cooper every day now. Jesse Brinkley, I haven't heard from him in a while, but I text him every day. Hopefully, I can get everybody else's number so I can keep in contact with them, because to me, they're all family to me. So I just want to thank them too as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Dude,
and Jackie, would you like to say something?
Well, I'm just overwhelmed by this
I don't know if it's
because
the internet or what, but I
20
can't
years
hear
have gone
anymore.
by and I look at these guys. I feel like it's only been a year, not 20 years. I look at these guys and I have wonderful memories of each one of them. And it was one of the best times in my life. I've always been the only woman with a group of guys ever since I came into this sport. I've always been pretty much the only woman. And these guys made me feel so welcome and so absolutely comfortable. And I love each and every one of them. And I'm just so honored that you included me today so I could see them again and just tell them how much they all mean to me.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I just want to announce one more time to all the fans. If you're new to the Contender, guys, go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime, the first season. I'm sure you can find the other 4 seasons after. They're on other different networks, but it's definitely a show worth watching. Like I said, look up all these guys after today on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Find some of their fights and watch some real contenders, man. Because a lot of boxing right now, it's not good matchups, and these guys all had successful careers and great fights. So I want to thank all you guys again for coming on. Jackie, thank you for taking time to come on and say something to the guys. And I'll never forget this podcast. I mean, to me, for a fan, this was a dream come true. This was my biggest podcast, to have this many people on here at the same time and to have this many quality fighters and one of the best boxing managers to ever do it out there. So I'm just overwhelmed, and I appreciate you guys taking time to come on my podcast.
Thank you.
John.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anytime, man.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Bye, guys.
hold on. Don't drop.
Bye. Take care. God bless.
Don't drop off. Hold on. And the truth has spoken.